When we last checked in on James Wynn, crypto's craziest trader who went from $200 to over 100 million and somehow managed to lose absolutely everything, I figured that that would be the end of this tragic story. But I was wrong. So very wrong. So what happened in the months after that fateful May of 2025? Did he seek therapy? Reacclimate himself with a normal life? Get in touch with his family? Or go all in on more high-risk gambles? If you answered D, you'd be correct. It's August 2025, and following a short break, James Wynn dove straight back into the world of leverage trading with a 10x position on Dogecoin. Along with some other small positions, this was liquidated. But instead of analysing a clear pattern of destructive trading, he decided it was the fault of a secret cabal who was out to ruin his trades. Then get a new wallet, you bozo! By October, Wynn had likely realised that without the capital he once had, that lev trading just didn't quite hit the same. He had to turn to the dark arts if he was ever to build a worthy balance, and he made his return to the memecoin trenches as a result, a space which has been controversial for his reputation at the very best of times. Now, I'm not here to play the role of CoffeeZilla, but there's certainly a pattern in most meme coins he's promoted, and in the early days of the month, he started to push Yellow Pepe, a Binance coin that, shock, had a bubble map that looked more like a fungus from The Last of Us than literally anything else. Heavily bundled and insider dominated, this was a death trap to anyone walking in. Wynn got to work trying to shill his bag to CZ, the literal owner of Binance, among others, talking to these high profile names as if they were his friends, in the same way I tweet my favourite footballer after a win. He started to appear in X Spaces, and I for one was keen to hear his wisdom, his knowledge and the insights into such a healthy and organic coin from someone that has done so much good for the space.
Well, okay, so how, right, okay. What level? Right. Okay. Fucking hell. Okay. Let's start fucking talking numbers. How many? Let me get to my points page just so I don't mess anything up. Right. What was your points for stage 2?
Enlightening. But don't worry, with the amount of effort he was putting into shilling, he was serious about this one. Yellow Pepe could surpass Pepe, bros. It's fucking Pepe, but yellow. How could you not? Never mind. Now, we don't know how much he made from this coin, or any of his meme coin escapades, but calls for investigations have long dominated social media, and the longer these kind of antics go on, the more chance that someone eventually decides it's time to do some digging. There are plenty of reports on X that cite Wynn bargaining for supply of meme coins, and even more recently, accusations of paying off creators of articles and videos that are critical of his trading to take them down. Although I didn't receive anything, so cheers, James. I somehow think it would actually take him longer to write me an email and send me money than it would for him to lose it trading. It's by far the better investment. He's also started to refer to his followers as winners, which is ironic considering the total lack of wins we've seen in the last 6 months. Either way, he appears to have made enough back to get into leverage trading once again, and went right back into the dungeon to try and slay the dragon that just ruined everything. Wynn returned to the arena with a long position on Old Faithful, the coin that made him a millionaire in the first place, Pepe. Since the yellow one, went as expected. Surely, the coin that changed his life wouldn't take it all back again, so he went in with a 10x long. Spoiler alert, that didn't go to plan. But with his thirst for leverage still not quenched, he reloaded for another round. This time, his weapon of choice were 40x longs on Bitcoin and some minor leverage plays on King Pepe and Hype. Bro, just let the Pepe stuff go. It's a frog, you've had your fun. Stop going back to it like an ex you haven't quite got over. With around $200,000 in buying power without the leverage, this was it. The moment he would ascend from the trenches and back into he got liquidated. Again. But he wasn't done yet. A few days later, he decided that longing wasn't working and that the top was in, tweeting his predictions for the coming day and backing up his words with yet another position. Things started off well, but if you take a closer look at his tweets, you'll notice that none of the prices he mentioned include 110 or 111,000 Bitcoin going up. which is what happened. Now we can assume he suffered the same fate, although he does keep tweeting as if his predictions mentioned a random 10% surge past his price marks that would likely liquidate him. I think he might actually be the Jim Cramer of trading, which is funny because I figured it was me, given that every time I sell something, it rallies 4x approximately 8 seconds later. In all honesty, I could have made 8 follow-ups to this, and I did actually write down some title names. James Wynn gets liquidated episode 1, James Wynn gets liquidated episode 2, James Wynn gets liquidated episode 3, and my personal favourite, James Wynn actually wins, then gets liquidated episode 1. We don't know what's going to happen with James Wynn in the future, but he is very much the gift that can just keep on giving. Someone who has the risk tolerance. Actually, he doesn't have a risk tolerance, and I think that might be part of the issue. We now all await to see his next moves into the winter months. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying we wish him the best of luck, because without him, I have less videos to make. So thank you, James, for your contributions to literally anyone's pockets that are on the opposite sides of your trades, and until next time, I'll see you in the trenches.